Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really cut through the noise and get you truly well informed. We use your provided sources, articles, research, notes, whatever you send us.
Exactly. We take what you've got and find the core insights.
And today, we are stepping up to the plate, you could say. We're looking at the dynamic world of Major League Baseball, specifically a deep dive into the action from yesterday, July 3rd, 2024.
Right.
And we're pulling insights directly from welcometotoday.pdf, which you've aptly titled Welcome to the Daily Diamond Digest.
A good title. Fits the content.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Because yesterday truly was a packed day on the diamond, wasn't it?
Absolutely nonstop action.
Full of those, thrilling comebacks, some really dominant pitching gems, and just narratives that are already shaping the season. So our mission here is to pull out those key moments, the surprising upsets, standout efforts, all from that day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's unpack this.
Well, what's really striking about July 3rd and your Daily Diamond Digest really highlights this. It wasn't just another date, It felt like a real microcosm of the entire MLB season.
How so?
Well, yesterday's slate just delivered that classic mix. You had high-stakes drama, some really unexpected outcomes, and then just moments of individual brilliance. And as teams are, jockeying for position in their divisions, the wild card races, every single game takes on this added significance.
Right. The pressure ramps up.
Exactly. And the tactical decisions made yesterday, the ones documented right there in your sources, they give us this fascinating look at why these outcomes matter so much right now.
Okay, so let's dive into some of those team narratives then. Starting with the National League East, it seems like there were some major shakeups there.
Yeah, definitely.
The Philadelphia Phillies, for instance, they clinched a crucial 5-1 victory over the San Diego Padres. Your notes really emphasize this win was vital for them, solidifying their standing, their offense, which can be streaky.
Oh, very streaky.
It found a rhythm. And their pitching effectively neutralized that pretty dangerous Padres lineup.
That's right. And what's insightful from your sources about how the Phillies did that? It wasn't just about, big home runs. The Daily Diamond Digest points to something more subtle, a tactical shift in their approach against Padres pitching.
Oh, like what?
Focusing on early contact, it seems like they systematically worked that, and it paid off. It suggests maybe a more disciplined strategy, less streaky.
Interesting. So maybe they're finding a more sustainable way to win.
Exactly. It signals they're serious contenders, that they might have the depth for a significant run.
Okay. And then, not to be outdone, the New York Mets. They asserted their own dominance, right? A 7-3 win against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep, another strong showing in the East.
This game seemed to highlight the Mets' improved offense, but your sources also make a strong point about their bullpen. That's been key.
Absolutely key. The Brewers, they're having a good season themselves, but they just couldn't contain the Mets' bats yesterday. That loss is probably going to be a point of reflection for Milwaukee.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But focusing on the Mets, your notes emphasize that their bullpen dominance wasn't just the big names at the back end. It was the unexpected effectiveness of their, long relief guys.
The mill innings.
Exactly. They consistently shut down Brewers' rallies after the fifth inning. And that strategic depth, which the Daily Diamond Digest details, seems like a new critical element for them.
So connecting this to the bigger picture then.
Yeah, these wins for Philly and New York, they weren't just about adding a W in the column. It felt like they were sending a message.
A message to rivals.
Yeah, basically saying, hey, we're hitting our stride right now. And it's happening at a pretty crucial point in the season.
Okay, so the NL East team's definitely making statements, hitting their stride, as you said. Was that intensity mirrored elsewhere? What was going on over the American League East? That's always a battleground.
Oh, always. And yesterday was no exception.
We saw a really tightly contested one there. Toronto Blue Jays edged out the New York Yankees, 11-9. That's a slugfest.
A total slugfest, yeah.
Sounds like it was just a wild back-and-forth affair. Both offenses just exploding.
It really was something. And the Daily Diamond Digest, it reveals that the Blue Jays' ability to outlast the Yankees in a game like that, it wasn't just raw power. It was their remarkable two-out hitting. They kept converting opportunities that, often kill rallies for other teams.
Clutch hitting.
Exactly. Shows their resilience, their offensive firepower. It's formidable.
And for the Yankees. Must be frustrating.
Oh, extremely frustrating. I mean, they put up 9 runs themselves, but it's a loss. And your sources specifically point to their bullpen struggling, particularly inducing ground balls in those high leverage spots.
So giving up extra bases.
Yeah. Yeah, it led to extended innings, extra base hits that just kind of snowballed on them. And it raises that important question, right? What strategic adjustments do managers even make after a game like that? A seesaw battle that tests absolutely everything.
Yeah, pitching, defense, everything's under the microscope. And this rivalry, I mean, the Daily Diamond Digest nails it. It really does feel like a playoff preview almost every time they meet.
It has that intensity, for sure.
Okay, so beyond those big rivalries, we also saw teams just grinding through the season yesterday, facing some unique challenges.
Right, like doubleheaders.
Exactly. The Minnesota Twins had a rare doubleheader with the Miami Marlins. They ended up splitting it.
Yeah, a 2-1 win in the first game, then a 4-1 loss in the second.
And the Houston Astros also split theirs.
Yeah.
With the Colorado Rockies. Won 5-3, then lost 7-6. Oof, close one.
Yeah, those splits happen. Doubleheaders are just incredibly telling, though.
Telling you what way?
Well, your source actually points out something interesting the Twins did. They strategically used a bulk inning reliever, someone who doesn't usually get big innings in game one.
To save their main guys.
Exactly. Preserve their key high-leverage arms for game two. Smart play, and it worked in game one. But generally, doubleheaders just expose the depth, or lack thereof, of your pitching staff, your bullpen. And they're just mentally and physically taxing. Brutal.
I can only imagine. Especially in July heat.
Right. So while a split can feel like, a missed opportunity, you always want both wins. It also kind of showcases a team's endurance, their depth. Especially now, with the All-Star break coming up, the dog days of summer are really setting in.
Good point. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's baseball.
Indeed. And then, we have the unexpected stories, like the Washington Nationals.
Ah, the Nats. Yeah.
Most people had them pegged for a rebuilding year, right?
Absolutely. Low expectations externally.
But they kept up this surprising surge yesterday. Beat the Detroit Tigers 9-4. It's like they didn't get the memo about rebuilding.
Yeah. Right.
So beyond just playing inspired baseball, which is easy to say, did your sources hint at anything specific driving this? Maybe something overlooked?
That's a great question. And the Daily Diamond Digest actually does suggest it's more than just inspiration. It points to their surprising defensive efficiency.
Defense, okay.
Yeah, your notes highlight they converted high leverage plays into outs at a rate well above league average yesterday. It's maybe less glamorous than hitting, but it's absolutely crucial for these unexpected wins they're racking up.
Interesting. So solid fundamentals paying off.
Exactly. Their offense also clicked yesterday. Starting pitching delivered. They're becoming a team you just can't afford to overlook anymore. It really speaks volumes, I think, about their coaching, player development, maybe just sheer team chemistry.
Proving that, talent and grit can defy expectations.
Totally. It shows a cohesive team can really make some noise.
Okay, so we've covered some key divisional stories, the doubleheader grind, the Nats' surprising run, but your sources also highlighted just a bunch of other great performances across the league yesterday. Let's maybe touch on a few of those quickly.
Yeah, definitely was worth mentioning.
The Cincinnati Reds, for example. Young team, lots of energy. They put up 8 runs against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, that offense can be really dynamic when it gets going.
And the Atlanta Braves just kept rolling, didn't they?
Yeah.
An 8-3 win against the Los Angeles Angels. Their lineup is just relentless.
Relentless is a good word for it. Just consistently strong.
Yeah.
And then you have the Chicago Cubs showing incredible grit. A walk-off win, 5-4 over the Cleveland Guardians.
Walk-offs are always exciting.
Right. But your notes add a cool detail. It came after a really grueling 10-pitch at-bat. Just shows remarkable plate discipline in that super high-pressure moment.
Wow. That's focus.
And how about the Texas Rangers? Just a dominant pitching display. 6-0 shutout against the Orioles.
Shutouts always impress.
Yeah, their ace was just commanding the strike zone, getting weak contact all game. Masterful.
We shouldn't forget those really narrow wins, right? The nail biters. Those always feel huge.
Every pitch matters.
Like the San Francisco Giants getting a tight 6-5 win over Arizona. Seattle Mariners clinching 3-2 against Kansas City. And the Dodgers also had a close one. 5-4 against the Chicago White Sox. These wins really underscore just how tight the margins are in pro baseball, where, as your Daily Diamond Digest points out, a single pitch's spin rate or one subtle defensive shift, that can be the tiny difference between winning and losing.
Absolutely. And beyond just the team results, the wins and losses, yesterday was packed with those individual highlights too. You had crucial home runs, spectacular defensive plays that honestly saved games, those masterful pitching performances we talked about. It all just serves as this powerful reminder of the incredible athleticism and skill we get to see across MLB every single day.
Yeah.
And it really underscores how every single player, From the seasoned vet down to the promising rookie, they all contribute to this unfolding drama. They all weave into the bigger story of the season. So as the dust settles on yesterday, July 3rd, what really stands out is just the dynamic, unpredictable nature of baseball.
Yeah, you never quite know what you'll get.
Exactly. It was truly a day of intense competition. Really reminds you why it's such a beloved sport. It just offered this rich tapestry of narratives. You had the powerful statements from division leaders, those gritty battles from teams fighting for relevancy, all captured really well in the sources you provided.
And the core insight, I guess, is that these results from yesterday, they become building blocks, right? Or maybe cautionary tales for each team.
Precisely. The winners, they'll aim to carry that momentum. They'll look at what worked, try to replicate it.
And the losers.
Well, for them, it's introspection time, isn't it? Identify what went wrong, where improvements are needed, make those adjustments before the next game, the next series.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Constant adjustments.
And that's the beauty of baseball, really. It lies in that daily rhythm. Every outcome shapes the narrative of the pennant race. The standings keep fluctuating. New stars emerge. New stories unfold. Yesterday was just another really captivating chapter in the whole saga of the 2024 MLB season. And it leaves you wondering, right? Which seemingly minor detail from yesterday's Daily Diamond Digest, maybe that defensive efficiency stat for the Nats or the two-out hitting for the Jays, which of those might turn out to be a key predictor for a team's fortunes down the road?
That's a great thought to end on. Something for you, the listener, to keep an eye on as these narratives evolve. Thank you for sharing your sources with us today and for joining us on this deep dive into yesterday's baseball action.